Hi my crafty friends, welcome back to my channel, The Crafty Homebody. This is Missy. Today I'm going to be working in my reading journal after yesterday's video where I did the dueling journals. If you did not see that video, please go watch it. It is so much fun. And this one won. This one won. I had more blue hearts than pink. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, I will link this video down below. Go watch it. Dueling journals, 2 spreads. It was great. But after I made this in my reading journal, I got asked quite a few times, Missy, how do you document and record the books that you read? So today we're going to turn the page and we're going to document a book that I've already read out of my TBR for fall, which is Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice. So we'll turn the page and we'll put a little clip on. And I just want to let everybody know that I am a Christian. I'm also a Christian author. I have 3 published books. It's a trilogy. They are a YA, which just means young adult Christian fiction thriller. They are available on Amazon. They're also available signed and with bookmarks and everything else in my Ko-Fi shop. All of that is always linked down below. But I try to honor God in my reading as well. And I love stories, especially this time of the year. And I really try my hardest to find love stories that, you know, have all the angst and all the good stuff and Hallmarky and the whole thing, but don't have a, you know, spice. It's like, they call it closed door romance, meaning you may read them kiss, kind of know where it's going, and the door is closed. It's not open door romance. And I just want to report that this particular book, which is Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice, where is the picture? Here it is. This one, Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice, this is the day I got it from Barnes & Noble, is clean. It doesn't have any spice. It is clean, and I really enjoyed it. So I just want to throw that all out there before I get into this, just in case anybody else struggles with wanting to read all the aesthetic books and all the aesthetic things, but feels convicted or guilty when it's basically, you know, corn, if you know what I mean, on paper. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I have some papers here. I think I'm just going to tear a little bit of this, and I think we're going to do it this way. Or maybe I shouldn't use paper. Maybe I should use... No, I like the paper. So I think we're going to do it this way. And this is kind of where we're going to put our little heading, and then we'll do this one a little thinner. This is where we're going to put our little book. So we'll go like that. Yeah, that looks good. And then I think we'll take our book and kind of put it off to the side. Yeah, okay. So I think that's the first place we'll begin. I'll probably talk a little bit more through this particular spread, only because I'm going to show you how I do it. These spreads don't take very long at all anyways. But this is how I record my books, just to let me know, like, this author writes clean, you know, because sometimes I pick up books that I think aren't going to have, you know, a lot of spice in them, or profanity and things like that. And sometimes, you know, it doesn't always work out that way. And this is how I record, you know, like, yes, this author writes clean. We definitely can go back and pick up more of this author's books, or this author, you know, had a little bit of profanity in it, but was still clean in the spice department, or, you know, this is how I do all of that. And it also lets me know throughout the year how many books I've read. And also, you know, I keep track of the kind of books that I'm reading so that I figure out kind of like what my aesthetic is. I'm in the process of writing some new books for 2026. I'm very excited about their release. My paranormal thriller, fantasy, Christian fiction book, if you will, it has a little bit of everything in it, definitely has clean romance in it. It's a YA, so they're young. So, but I'm kind of like, my taste is kind of changing. I'm kind of liking more of like the more in-depth romance kind of stories where there's a lot of like heart and soul and a lot more growth and healing and things like that. And I want to start writing a little more of that than like your fast-paced thrillers, if you will. So I hope that made sense. I'm just kind of rambling. I have some, I think I have, let's see. Yes, I do. I'm going to see if I can't, I might back that picture because I think it's going to get lost. I think I'm going to back this picture on this because I think it's going to get lost in all of that. But I'm so happy that we are in the fall months. I'm all about the fall things. It's my favorite time of the year, and I want all of those fall vibes. So to be able to find books that are, you know, what I want to read without profanity and, you know, a lot of unnecessary bedroom scenes is wonderful. And this particular book is being promoted right now at Barnes & Noble's, which I find fantastic. So if you go to Barnes & Noble's right now and you buy a drink at their cafe, the book is only $5. And I just think that's amazing that Barnes & Noble's is promoting a book that doesn't have, you know, explicit things in it. I'm all about that. So I had to go get the book, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I read it in 2 days. I'm reading another book right now from my TBR. Okay, so we're just going to, there we go. I'm gonna have to trim that up. It feels like fall today, guys. I don't know if you can hear it. I have my window open, but it's raining. It's chilly. I'm actually considering going and getting a sweater. I love it. So this particular book, I'm not going to give a lot of details about it because, you know, in case you want to read it, I don't want to give it away. But it was called Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice. And this book had a lot to do with pumpkin spice. Definitely. So I am going to use this adorable pumpkin spice sticker, and then I'm going to show you, I want to put the big sticker down just so I know where I need to write and things like that. And then I'm going to show you how I kind of like document my books that I read. I think this one is going to work great. That definitely ties right in with the book. And then I have these two cute little stickers too. Maybe this one would be, maybe, I don't think I like all of these little things. So I'm going to take a moment and cut all of this out. I'm not crazy about these. I can kind of draw my own in there. If you hear pitter patter, my dog is coming into the room. He kind of follows me from room to room. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add this sticker too, just because it's adorable. And then we will notate what I thought of the book. I usually don't show like my writing process, but for this video, I will, because it's not going to be a very long video. These do not take me very long. I do not do, you know, crazy in-depth book reviews, if you will, in my book journal. Just enough so that I know, you know? Okay, alrighty. We'll save this one. I put this in the back here for another time. All right, so we have a lot of this going on. So I think I'm gonna use oranges and reds. And I might go in after I write and put some washi tape down. And I need another sip of my coffee. So I'm going to flip back. So this is what I do. See, we put stars, I put spice, how I read, the genre, and when I started and when I finished. And then I write my thoughts. So this is pretty much how I do my, I don't know what you want to call it, notation. So I'm going to put it down here. So we're going to do, I'm going to write it out first. Now we got the title in there. We're going to put, we'll start it here. We'll put it here. Stars. Then we put, I always dictate spice so that I know. And then how I read, because I also, you know, I do Audible books, I read physical books, and I read on my Kindle. And genre. Try to keep it pretty much the same, making sure I did it right, yeah. And I started. And then I'll move over a little and put finished. And then right below it, I'll skip a space. And right in the middle right here, I'll put thoughts. And that is pretty much how I notate or dictate or record what I read, okay? So for stars for this book, I definitely give this book 4 stars. It was adorable. It had a good plot. The characters were young. They were still in high school. And I would rather, it's the only reason I'm not giving it 5 stars. I would prefer to read it. I would prefer to read more of an adult book, I guess I should say. Spice, I'm just going to put none. Or I could just give it 1 star, but I'm just putting none. How I read, I'm going to put physical. Genre is rom-com, we'll put. Okay, today is the 10th. I started this book on the, oh gosh, I think I started this book on the 4th. Okay, so it is 9/4/2025, and I finished it for the next day, which was 9/5/2025. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna write my thoughts. I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'll come back. Okay, so I wrote down my thoughts, and I thought to bring a little bit more color to the page, what I'm gonna do is use my mild liners, my orange and like reddish color, and I'm just going to go over, because it's dry now, I'm just going to take my and just highlight in orange here like that, and then I'll go with this one over that. Okay, and then that brings a little bit more color to the page and highlights what I wanted. And that's it, guys. That's all I do. And like I said, you can go much more in depth. Like you can do so many more like specifics about the book, you know, not only your stars, but spice, how you read it, genre, when you started, when you finished. Maybe you want to put in there about like how the author wrote, if you would read this author again. Like you can make a big list of all of that. But for me, I try to keep my reading journal very simple for me. All I need to know is what I rated it, what the spice was like, how I read it, the genre, and when I started and finished, because when I start and finish also tells me if I really liked it or not. If it takes me weeks to finish a book, it really didn't grab my attention. But if I finish a book in a day or two, then it really grabbed me from the start. And I like books like that. So that's really all I need to know about a Pacific book, especially if I'm going to, it's a new author and I'm going to maybe pick up another one of their books. And I should put that in there too. Maybe I'll put in there that new author to me, just so that I know. So we'll use the red pen. And we'll stick right in here, new author to me. This is really all I need. But it's just to give you an idea and maybe some inspiration on how easy or how in depth you could go in notating, or whatever you want to call this, like notating or keeping a record or a track or whatever of what you read. So I really enjoy that, and I hope that you did too, and I hope you got some ideas. It'll inspire you to create your own pages, maybe make them longer, more depth, whatever it is that you want, or maybe you'll keep them as simple and as I do. Like this literally took me like 10 minutes to sit down. If I wasn't talking and not showing you guys, this literally would have taken me 10 minutes. And I like that. I like that I read the book and it takes me 10 minutes. It's aesthetic. It's still cute. I could have done more. I could have done more paper, more stickers. I could have done inking, the whole thing. But I like to keep my reading journal very simple. But anyways, this is how I do it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you giving up a portion of your day to spend with me. I hope that you leave this channel inspired to create your own reading journal. I have a playlist if you need more ideas on how to set one up, and I'll be talking to you in another video very soon. Until then, as I always say, take care of you and stay crafty, friends. Bye.